Hello everybody, welcome to another video and welcome to a sort of review slash sort of hardware tour of my PowerMac G5. Just got this last week and it is actually now going to be the family computer. The Linux machine that they were using has finally sort of just conked out, thank fuck. And so they just gave me £100 and said, there you go Niall, buy us a computer, and I had to get one. So it's a great computer just for them. I mean, it's a fast enough computer for them to use, but also a little bit was just for me, just so I could sort of finally have an air-cooled dual-core PowerMac G5. So yeah, as you can tell by the video, it's a really nice machine. It's not in the best condition, but mechanically and electronically it is just totally solid. So the first thing I'm going to do is show you around the components. So starting off then, this is the 8X Super Drive up top. Of course my Mac Pro has two. One is all you really need, and yeah, it does the job. It's an optical drive, what can I say. Coming down, front panel I/O. You got the power button, headphone in, one USB and one Fire 4, which is slightly not quite as generous as my Mac Pro, which has two USBs and two Firewires, but again, it's plenty enough for them. Moving on to the back then, as you can see there, we've got all of our PCI Express sort of slots and the lock and latch. Currently in there is a 6600 perfect card, again for standard stuff, and I'll show you that in a minute. Coming down then, let's just get it into focus. You can see we've got 56k dial-up modem, just in case. You've got Ethernet, you've got Firewire 800, Firewire 400, optical and digital audio in and out, and three USB 2.0s, which is a lot more generous than my dual 1.8 that I had. That only had two USBs, so having three is a massive increase. So yeah, opening the machine up, really simple. Similar again to the Mac Pro, it's just a case of taking the door off. The machine can run with just that air baffle off, but obviously to get the components you have to take that off too. So here is the CPU. This is of course a dual-core 2.3 GHz PowerPC G5 CPU. It is an absolute tank, and I'll show you the software in a minute, but it is an absolute beast of a CPU. Moving over then, this is the fan assembly, and it's literally a case of just popping it out, and then you have access to all your RAM slots. It's really modular. Again, just a gorgeous design. And here we go. This is the DDR2 RAM. There's currently 2 gigs. In the machine at the moment, 4 × 512. It can take up to 16 gigs though, which is absolutely awesome. Not that they'd ever need it. This is a 6600, 256 megs of VRAM, PCI Express. Of course, my 6800 Ultra DDL was again a beast of a card, but in a different way, as it was AGP, but it just churns through Leopard without a hiccup anywhere. It's really solid, and of course it's passive cooled, so it's silent. Here are the hard drive bays. This is probably my least favourite part of the G5's case design. It only takes 2 hard drives, but they are SATA, which is a massive sort of boost over the MDDs or the Quicksilvers. So yeah, that's pretty much the G5. Simple, modular, just totally elegant on the inside. I think I actually do prefer it on the inside to my Mac Pro. It's just absolutely gorgeous. But yeah, that's the sort of hardware components. So what we're going to do now is boot the G5 up and show you around the system. So the first port of call here is to run the standard Geekbench test. So you can double check the sort of specs there. As you can see, dual 2.3 GHz, 2 gigs of DDR2 RAM. And yeah, we'll just speed up the video now so it gets to the end of the test. And yeah, for what is now nearly a 9-year-old machine, you'll see it now, 2139. That is pretty much the same score as what the Linux machine got, and that was an AMD Sempron machine. So even modern day stuff, it will get it done no problem. And you can see that the CPU sort of stuff is more 2300, 2400. It's the memory which sort of churns it down a little bit, because of course it's only DDR2. But yeah, for modern day stuff, that's a decent score, especially for a 9-year-old machine. So to just show how well this machine still copes, mainly online, we're just going to open up WebKit. This is a Leopard WebKit here. My personal sort of browser of choice on PowerPC still, even though it is a little bit old now. You can see they're bounced up with 2 bounces on the dock is just absolutely awesome. Searching PowerPC Hub there. Bang, straight up, no hassles whatsoever. Click on that. YouTube, pretty heavy sort of website. Again, just no issues whatsoever. I do have Click to Flash installed, which does speed everything up a little bit. I will leave a link to that in the description down below. If you do want to download that, it's an awesome extension. You can see there as well scrolling. I try to emphasize that a lot because a lot of these PowerPC laptops struggle with scrolling up and down pages. Don't ask me why, but it just sort of deals with it fine. Going onto my website here. Again, it's not a very intense sort of website, but again, it just handles it perfectly well. Go on to the iOS page. Again, straight up, it's flawless. It's what you'd expect any computer to sort of get done. And considering it's 9 years old, it's so impressive. Going on to the Apple website, which again is a very sort of heavy website, especially on an older computer. But again, even look at this now, the little animations that come up, like even they're just absolutely spot on. It's just an absolute joy to use day to day. So moving on to the holy grail of PowerPC tests, this is YouTube in the browser, Flash. It's 11.5 I think, Flash 11.5, the hacked version, but as you can see there, that's on 360p currently, and it just handles it without an issue. It's just absolutely perfect, not a drop frame anywhere. And for most people, 360 is okay. You can see there as well, that's the CPU graph, that's menu meters. I'll leave a link to that in the description as well if you want to pick that up. On PowerPC anyway, it's what I use to just sort of keep tracks on RAM usage and stuff like that. This is 480p now. Again, as you'd almost probably expect, just handles it perfectly. 480p is what I really expect you to use out of the sort of maximized browser. But again, there you can see CPU usage. It isn't too bad considering it's Flash, and Flash is evil. So now we're going to move up to 720p. This is the maximum of what I upload, because personally I don't watch any video in more than 720p anyway, even on my Mac Pro, because I just don't see the point, and you can see it just about gets it done. When sort of loading stuff, it does skip a couple of times, but once it gets going, it's perfect, absolutely flawless in full screen mode as well. And you can see the CPU usage is about 70-80%. So yeah, even 720p video in YouTube on this G5 is just no hassle whatsoever. Moving on to something a little bit more fun then, this is gaming. A lot of people say PowerPC Max can't game. I beg to differ. I'm still using PowerPC series, as you may or may not know, and the next video in that series will be on gaming, so stay tuned for that one. If you haven't watched any of those videos, I highly recommend you go check them out. Just check them out on my channel. But this is Colin McRae Rally, a game that was released in 2007. I love the Colin McRae Rally games, and look at that. That's about on medium settings at full resolution, and it runs it like an absolute champ. I mean, that's a good looking game, and people just write off the PowerPC platform for gaming completely. I mean, the sort of modern list of games is very limited, but on the whole, the machines themselves can handle it as well as an Intel Mac can, of comparable hardware. But yeah, that's Colin McRae Rally. Great game. I won't leave a link to it because that's very naughty, but it is quite hard to find it. But if it does pop up on eBay, I really do recommend you go check it out. This is World of Goo. I think it's on like Android and iOS now, but regardless, it's still a really fun game. Not that sort of intense. You could probably even run it on something like an iBook G4 or a low-end PowerMac G4. It's really not up to much really, but it's a really fun, addictive little game, similar to, I'm not going to say Angry Birds because Angry Birds is shit, but it's just a fun little puzzle game. Kills 5 minutes just like that, and yeah, it's really fun. And this is, I think, on totally maxed out settings. at full resolution. This monitor, by the way, is 1366 by 768, but yeah, you can see here, it just, again, it's a really, really good looking game. All of these old games, I do find they look really good when you just pump them up, because a lot of the new games, they have a lot of stuff going on, usually to turn the settings down or whatever, and you get a lot of sort of blurry lines. But with these old games, with newer hardware, you can bump the settings all the way up and you get these really nice crisp lines. And as you can see, it's running, it's got to be a solid 60 frames per second, without an issue whatsoever. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. If you do want to see more videos on this Mac in the future, then do be sure to leave a like and a comment down below. But, yeah, it's a really, really lovely machine. There's not much more I can say, really. But, yeah, I hope you enjoyed the video, guys, and as always, I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.